All right. Just before we get started, I'm curious for those that are tinkering with AI, what is one of the AI tools that you are using? Please put it into the chat. Would love to hear. Are you using any tool? What is your favorite? If you're not, why? What is keeping you from using AI? Would be very curious to hear what is kind of putting you on the fence. But I was able to meet Angela at an event I was at in Atlanta and learning about how best to implement it into our businesses. So Angela being an AI implementer, figured, could you come and talk to our audience to let us know what best techniques we can be using so that we can really supercharge our businesses? The time is now to really take control of where AI is going, try and get ahead of the trend as best you can, even though it's changing so much. But I'd love to give the floor to Angela just so she can introduce herself and then give us kind of a overlay of what she's going to be going through. And then Angela, the floor is yours. So did you want to introduce yourself and just let people know a bit of your background?
Hello, everyone. My name is Angela Hendricks Bell, and I'm so excited to be with you guys tonight. Um, I am a serial entrepreneur. I'm a master graphic designer. I am a Amazon bestseller co-author, and I just love entrepreneurship and what it brings to offer. And this whole AI thing is just taking me on a whole nother level. I thought I was winding down, but now I'm geared up,
Yes.
again. So I um I just wanted to say that I do come from a biblical perspective when I do my workshops. So you're going to see biblical principles starting off at the foundation before we get into the core of what AI can do for you. And I see that some of you already have businesses and things of this nature. And I just want um, to let you know that when you apply biblical principles in your business, it takes on a whole new level. And so I want to start off by saying a quick prayer, if I may, because I like to start my workshops with a prayer. So if we can do that, I appreciate that. Okay, before we just dive
Absolutely.
right on in. All right.
Yes.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you as humbly as we know how. I surrender the remainder of this evening to you. Please show us how and what your will is for our business ideas and our plans. Guide our thoughts and our strategies to help us with everything that we need to do to have good success. Give us the discipline to not to put off until tomorrow what we can do today, because procrastination is a curse. Um, I pray for guiding wisdom as I share the knowledge that you have given to me. And I pray that you order our steps and guide our tongue in your word, guide our feet and wash our hearts, that we may be purified to do your will in our lives. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Appreciate that.
Amen. So let me share my screen with you guys.
And I'm loving seeing the different tools people have been using. See, ChatGPT for graphics. I have not started using ChatGPT for images yet.
Yeah, it's really on a fast pace.
Oh,
It's really
love
on a
that.
fast
Oh,
pace.
Opus. Opus, is that Opus
Opus
clips,
Clear.
Camille? So commercials, like creating clips. Nice, nice. I'm a big fan of Notebook LM. I don't know how many people have started tinkering with the Google Playground. I'm seeing some Gemini, ChatGPT. Oh, starting Claude. Claude is making some big jumps. See ChatGPT. Oh, but you called ChatGPT Delroy. Yeah, gave him a name already. Oh man, I love it. Anyone else? And there was another one, WAN 2.2, that does video creations from images or text prompts. I'm liking that. Oh, and 11 Labs. I love 11 Labs. Was able to record my voice so I can put it onto different videos. And I see VO. Okay. Oh, that's that Gemini for video. Okay, nice. So yes,
You
I
guys don't
apologize.
need me. Y'all don't need me. I can just leave right now. Y'all don't need me.
Nice.
Okay.
So I'll mute, and yes, floor is yours. Thanks again.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. So to start off, these are the things that we're going to talk about. Um, Even though some of you have already started your business, I'm taking you back to the beginning, and I'm doing it for a purpose to see how we can bring AI into all of this, right? So we're going to talk about developing your purpose, your vision, and your idea, determining your product or service, and developing your plan. Choosing, oh goodness, excuse me. So developing your purpose and vision and your idea. So we're going to start off with these two biblical principles, and then we're going to do four, but we're throughout the presentation. But this is very important to seek Him first, right? We want to be sure that we're operating in excellence and governed by some core principles. And so, as I mentioned in the prayer, allow God to order your daily steps. And you got to seek Him first in the beginning of the day. And principle number two is I am. God tells you who He is every day. He tells you who He is throughout Scripture. So He said, I am the vine, you are the branches. I am the way, the truth, and the light. So it's very important for an entrepreneur to know who they are and what their strengths and their weaknesses are, because truth be told, everybody doesn't have the mindset to be an entrepreneur. Um, I know in the day of social media, it looks very easy and you can make $1 million in a month and, and all the things, but you have to have a mindset. And I like to say you have to have a kingdom mindset. So just be sure to implement some of those principles as you're going through. Biblical principle number 3, wisdom and understanding. In all your ways, seek wisdom, right? Because that's what's going to get you wisdom and strategy. My core principles are wisdom, excellence, and strategy. You can't go wrong with those three. You just can't go wrong with those key principles, right? Because through wisdom and understanding, we develop our purpose, we develop our vision. We'll, as well as like our vision, all of those things come from wisdom and understanding as we get further on. So in our purpose will be our identity. Why must the business even exist? The why that governs everything. Purpose is the divine assignment beyond your enterprise, right? So with purpose, you have clarity, you have strategy. Your strategy becomes your focus. Your brand becomes authentic. Your team alignment is easier. Your customer, you feel convicted when you approach a potential customer because your purpose is clear, right? Purpose, when one of my quotes, and I had to write this one down that I liked. Purpose anchors identity and it governs culture and it filters opportunity. So vision is our direction. Where are we going? What does this even look like? The picture of the future before it even exists. The vision is clear, it's compelling image of what the business will become. It requires faith, it requires a foresight, strength, and imagination, and measurable targets, your goals. What do you want to do with this vision? What do you want to see this become? And it will aid you also into positioning yourself in the market, right? It'll set and scale your revenue. It'll help you to establish cultural influences, become a industry authority. Who doesn't want to be authority in their industry? A subject matter expert, right? It helps to establish a legacy impact because we are going to go away from this earth one day, but we'll never know how much our impact has been in the world, right? because we can meet people in the airport and don't even and have a conversation. You don't know that person going back to their own prospective places. You don't know what type of impact you had on that person. You might never know because you never seen that person again. But it's all about impact. Just them, even by you sharing your life experiences or just sharing about your business, that can inspire them to go on and open and start a business themselves. So your vision just really needs to be clear and have that clear direction of where you're going. And your idea is execute. How are we going to make this thing happen? The strategic vehicle that executes the purpose and the vision. The business model is an expression of the purpose and the vision. Without refining your idea, business chase trends. You don't want to be trendy because trends fail. They fade away, right? You don't want to do that. You want to offer offers are you don't have a focus because whatever you have to offer, like for me, this was one of my things I had to improve upon because I can do a lot of things. Like I said, I'm a serial entrepreneur, but a serial entrepreneur is not focused. Is not focused. You have to be focused for a period of time, and then if you have multiple entities, in order to get the multiple entities up and running profitably, you have to focus on one. Get that running like a run-on or a well-oiled machine, and then you move on to the next one. Because you can have multiple business, but you don't want to have half behind multiple businesses, right? You want to have them on all of them on full throttle. So you don't, and you also want, if you have investors that are in your business, you don't want them to lose confidence in you. So if you can articulate your idea and your vision and your purpose with conviction, and you're able to translate that to all those that you communicate your business with, that's a good start. And that's a good place to be, even when you're trying to scale your business, because your vision and your purpose and your execution and everything is clear. Now, developing the right service or product. Now, let's take a lemonade stand for all intents and purposes, right? How you determine what you're offering. Now, you're at a sporting event outside of, say, for a little league or your kids, or you have a child that's not participating in the sports, but you see a need. Your people around you, it's hot. People are like, oh my God, I'm so thirsty. And nobody was there. You didn't have a vendor there for water. You saw opportunity, right? Well, hey, well, what about, my 10-year-old? What about they do a lemonade stand and we offer lemonade to the spectators? So think about what people need and why do they need it? Will it solve a problem? Will it make them happy? What are you good at? And what would you like to do for free? Those are some of the things that can help you determine what do you want to offer. Monetary is, like, oh, I can make a lot of money. That doesn't, people think that that's a motivator, but that's not always a motivator, how much money you can earn, because you can get tired of that really quickly. And I will give you an example of my father. My father was a man of many trades. My father built me my first computer. He made my jewelry. He made jewelry. He did a lot of things. He did carpentry work. He did a lot of things. But when he decided that he wanted to build computers for other people, it was fun for him. He liked building them. He liked intricate things, and that's why he went into jewelry after the building computers. But he didn't like the demand that people were putting on him when they ordered the computers, because they like, when can I have it? So that put him, he felt like he was in a box. Like, my time is now not my own, you know, and he liked doing it, but the money, his time and the control of his time was more important than the money. that he could have made on it, because people were offering him, this was back when computers were very, very, very expensive, and he was doing them for like less than half of the cost just because he liked to do it. And it was still very profitable for him, but his time was more valuable to him than the money. So that's why I'm saying money is not always a motivator. And even, like I said, what would you like to do for free and make money doing it? So if you don't mind giving up your time and willing to appease the demand, then that's something that you probably can consider. And then look at what other people are offering and analyze that and see, oh, I can do that. Like if I was doing this, I would make this way, and I would turn that way, and I would offer the people this, and I would package that with this. Like if you see a business and you can analyze that business and automatically determine how you can make it better, that might be something you want to consider. Determine if your product or service solves a problem. Find a problem, test your idea, make it special, and watch and listen. We didn't know that we needed iPads until Steve Jobs came out with them, right? We didn't know we needed an iPad in our life. We didn't know that we needed a phone with a camera on it. We didn't know that. We didn't know that. But now you leave your phone somewhere, it is a major catastrophe if you leave your phone somewhere, right? So see what the problem is when you determine what you want to offer. Is your product or service significant? Does it make somebody's life easier? Does it fit what people need right now? Will people want to buy it? How many people, let me hear from the people in the chat who have your businesses. When you started to do your business, did you determine, or did you have like a proof of concept? What was your determining factor as to, okay, I think this is the business for me, or this is the service, or this is the product that I want to sell? Anybody like to share that? No,
Yeah,
don't let me call.
hi, I'm Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
I had been making films for the last 20 years, helping a lot of people in the film industry and so on, and also working with other folks in making films before I made my first feature film. So there was a lot that I already knew, but there was so much that I didn't know because it was my first funded slash going mainstream kind of thing. And one of the things that we often get frustrated with is when we go applying for funding, people often say, do you have a track record, or do you have someone with a track record? And that was the big thing that I quickly learned making my first feature film, was that track record was so important, especially in Canada, because there's what is called the paperwork marathon, especially when you're going for the tax credit, and expenses you didn't think about because you don't know. And there's something called un, unconscious something. It's when you don't know what you don't know that you don't know. And,
Yeah.
and so even though I had a lot of experience, I still had and continue to have a lot more to learn about the business I do.
Yeah, and you have to be willing to, because some people unfortunately get in that when they start getting in their business, they feel like they know what they know, and that's it. They're not in that constant learning, and you have to be in a constant learning mode when you're in business, because people will come and just leave right past you, you know. That is so what was that determining factor? I know you said that you did films previously and you want to gain more, basically more experience and get more, I guess, clients under your belt. But what was that initial spark that said, you know what, I'm gonna do this for my own business? Like, what was the initial thing that made you want to step out and create a business for this?
I grew up in the entertainment industry. My father is a playwright. I've watched him be successful and not be successful. He is he also is a writer of newspaper and publisher. But I also watched him become exiled by the economic constraints of being in Canada and the challenges of going to people, because newspaper and media industries are greatly dependent on sponsorship and marketing dollars, advertising. And so the big thing was about building relationships and relationships that bring value. And so I was determined to follow in his footsteps, but build my own path. And so it's one of those determinants for the last 20 years. I've been investing in the media bit spaces, and I wanted to become better at what I did and better than what he had done. And so that was my driving force and driving factor, as well as wanting to tell stories from our perspective, stories that don't often get told on television.
Yeah, that seems like that was part of your why, telling the stories that aren't told. And that I actually have a concept about that too, about it's so many things. And when we talk about the history, and especially, I don't know how it is in Canada, but in America right now, they're trying to suppress our Black history, and saying it's not significant anymore. So all of those stories that are untold, that people are now telling. And I think that's one good thing about TikTok, because there are a lot of people that are not like us telling our story, because of that. That's good. That's good. I am awesome. I come from a family of entrepreneurs and artists. And so that's how my love for graphic design developed when I was younger. So, anybody else want to share about their company and why they started theirs? What was your why?
I can go ahead. So my company, my business is 123 Finance. I'm a financial literacy educator and a speaker. So I empower people through fun and engaging financial literacy. Why? Because my goal is to break those past financial generational trauma that are passed from generation to generation. The goal is to build generational wealth and generational wellness for women, for Black people, because Black people, we also need to be that wealthy. We also need to talk about money. Money needs to stop to be taboo. So that's really my why. And I'm starting to do it with my niece. I have no kids right now, but I'm starting to do it with my niece. She's 3 years old and a half. And she already have an insurance policy that my sister puts some money towards every month. And I'm the one in charge of investing it because I know how to do it. And in 25 years, when she will wake up, she will get that amount of money that I didn't get when I was 25 years old. And the goal for me is to empower my people so that everyone actually do the same for their sister, for their brother, for their kids, for their nieces and nephews and all that.
That's wonderful. That's creating that generational wealth. But what was the initial deciding factor that said that, you know what, I'm just going to step out on, I'm just going to start my own thing. I'm just going to do my own thing. What was that? What was that?
I graduated in 2015 back in France with a master degree in finance. And since then, I was just working in banks in France, Luxembourg, Canada. For me, was just normal to do it. And then I came to Canada and I spoke to a few people and around me, my friends and all that they don't have like a financial background. They all had that same thing about, oh, finances is boring. I don't want to talk about it and all that. And I was referred at RBC Wealth Management. One of my friends was also referred after me to the bank, but she was working at RBC Insurance and she didn't have that financial background. And we were chatting about the employee savings plan that we have at the bank. We have an amazing plan where you put some money towards it from your pay every 2 weeks, and then the bank is matching, right? And she didn't know about this. She was like, "Oh, you're doing that, but what is it about?" And she asked me question. I was like, "Oh, okay, interesting." And I was like, "But how about our friend that referred us to the bank? He doesn't know anything. He's been here for 5 years." She's like, "No, he doesn't know anything. He's just default and all that." And I'm like, "Okay." So I took an hour of my time to explain it to my friend. And she was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much. Now I'm able to go to see my financial advisor and all that." And I asked my friend, "Why didn't you go on Google, look on Google or ask your financial advisor?" And she told me, "Financial advisor, I don't trust them. And on Google, because I don't have this financial background, I go to Google, there's A, there's B, there's D. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to trust, right?" And she was like, "Oh, you have something to explain it. You did it in a fun way. It was not complicated. I understood. So now I'm ready to take my financial journey seriously." And this is where I realized that, or maybe this is what I'm supposed to do. And my friend, she's also Black. The other friend that referred me is also Black. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe there's something I need to do, not only for Black people, but my core and why I do it is really for Black people, because as a community, if we're able to build generational wealth, this is how we will grow as a community, not just me as a human being, or not just my family. It's everyone growing together as a community.
Yeah, so you hit every single bullet here in terms of determining your product or service will be significant. You made life easier. You made financing understandable. It fit the need of the people right then because they were working there. They had no idea. People working for 5 years and didn't know that this plan existed. And people are willing to pay you, which is the best
Yes,
for it. So you
absolutely.
hit
And just,
all the
yeah,
bullets.
just to add a little bit about my services, because you hit a point here. Yeah, I'm the goal is to try to make it engaging, fun, relatable. So I'm doing two things. I'm hosting team buildings and lunch and learn for large corporations. So I'm going to companies. I'm doing online, in person, French and English. And I'm also hosting a women game night, money game night for women. So I go to your place, to your party room. You guys are a group of women. You book me for 2 hours. You choose the theme, and we do games around financial literacy so that it's actually easy and you want to engage with it. And I'm doing this. It's been a year. It's to help me gain, visibility, testimonials, and all that. But long term, my goal is to build like this online platform where you do the course for, I don't know, 2 months, 1 month, 3 months, and then you learn everything about financial literacy, especially as an immigrant. And every year, people can do the online program.
Yeah, that is wonderful. I have a friend who she's a nurse and she started her business by simply it wasn't a business. She didn't really realize it was a business until it was, right? So she negotiated a very, very lucrative nursing contract. And when she told somebody how, one of her close friends that was a nurse, and she told them that, I went in there and and we were going back and forth. She started telling them what she told them. The friend did she did what my friend did and got the same result at another entity. And so she came back and told us, she was all excited. She was like, "Girl, I did everything that you said you did in that meeting, and I got, this amount of money or whatever." And so somebody else did it. And so she was like, "Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute." So she got with someone, and they developed a course, a negotiation course, and she developed it. And she said her husband her husband, they were going on vacation or something. She had just did it and launched this, published the site and didn't think about it no more because didn't think anybody would hit it or anything. When they came back from vacation and she said, oh, let me just, no, she said her husband went and checked. Like, let me see what, if you got any sales. And she was like, I don't think nobody ordered anything. She said her husband fell out the chair when he saw how many inquiries and how many people actually bought the package without her even doing just word of mouth. So from there, she started getting speaking engagements and stuff like that. So now it's on a roll. So I really see you get that course up and running and all the things that you're doing, that's going to be that's going to be off the chain. That's really going to be off the chain. Good stuff. Good stuff. So your plan, let's talk about your plan. Oh, excuse me 1 second. Let me turn off this over. Okay. The last biblical principle is planning. Commit your work to the Lord and your plans will be established. Right? So we're going to structure, and the reason why I did all the purpose and the vision and the ideas, because we're going to structure, this is a time for you guys to get engaged. And I know majority of you, I'm quite sure on here has ChatGPT. So we're going to just go over how AI can manage your business. It can help you organize your thoughts, answering quick questions, keeping track of all your tasks, and making sure that you don't forget anything. You can link it to your calendar, and it can, be an AI agent or your assistant. It can help you design websites and make your social media posts. It can look at your numbers and showing you how your business is doing, give you forecasts and things. So prompt engineering, everybody knows that the prompt is the key thing. Garbage in will give you garbage out, right? So your prompt needs to be as precise as possible to get the type of result that you need. Excuse me, some water. I'm so sorry. So key components of a good prompt is a clear request. Tell AI exactly what you want. Like, help me write a happy birthday message. These are real simple ones. Details, give more information. Instead, just happy birthday. Write a funny happy birthday message for my best friend who loves space. And then tone and style. Do you want it to sound happy? You want it to sound serious? You want it to sound funny? Let AI know the type of tone and style you want to write it in. And then the length, if you want it to be a short, a long, or give me 3 quick tips, or give me 25, 30 social media posts, or, just be specific in that and engaging with the platform that you're working with. And we're going to let AI help you do a plan. And this is according to a basic business plan, right? So it's going to help you build out all the necessary details in your business plan. And even if you already have your business, because everybody that has a business does not have a business plan. Some people just went head first and just started their business, and I did, because I have a cousin who has a multi-million-dollar business and has never written a business plan. Never written a business plan. So it can happen. But her business, she didn't have a business plan because she had a mentor in the same industry. So that's guided her. So she already had her vision, had her focus and everything. So her investors and everything were already in place. But like I said, it is possible. But one thing that deters people from doing a business plan is because it's so much research and so much time, because it's time consuming, right? So this is what I have here are just prompts that's going to help you establish your business plan so you can have a clear purpose, vision, and your ideas are clear, right? So these are just a sample of, so if anybody has, if you have ChatGPT, let's do this together, okay? So I'm gonna put this, see if I can put this in this prompt in the chat. So y'all can do a copy and paste. Let me see about that. Okay. So of course, where you see the type of business, put in your industry and company name. My chat. Now I can't find my little chat box. All right. Right. Oh, there you go. Okay, for your company. Does everybody see that in the chat?
Yep, the first one came in.
Okay. That was after I put these last two in. I want you to share and tell me what kind of information did you get back? And is that something, and how does that line up with what you're doing or what you want to do?
Sorry about that. Ryan, something is happening with the presentation, right? On your end as well? Oh, it's not in presentation mode. Slide.
No, it wasn't a presentation mode anymore because I had to copy and paste and put the things in the chat, the prompts in the
Oh,
chat.
okay. Okay.
Yeah. So starting off, and I guess I mixed the title of the first one. So the first prompt. What happened? Product and service. Okay, that wasn't the marketing prompt. I don't know what that one. That wasn't the marketing prompt. That was the market analysis prompt. Okay. And then the marketing strategy. Okay. So the first one was the overview of the company. Is anyone putting it in the in ChatGPT? If you are, can you put a 1 in the chat so I know that's what you're doing? Great. Now let's see how, if anybody wants to share how what your results were just from those 4 prompts. Anyone? Carlina? How about you?
Is there a certain part you want me to share? Because it's a lot.
No, anyone you want to share. If anything, if the results came back with anything that you didn't, that makes you think about a different perspective, if you already have a business, or did it help you with a business idea that you were thinking of? Why did you say it was great?
Yeah, I really like that it broke down the company goals. So for the first prompt when I asked about the mission statement and the goals, it broke down my goals into short term from like 1 to 2 years, midterm goals 3 to 5 years, and the long term vision, which I really liked because I never really thought of breaking down goals based on timelines of the business. So I thought that was what really stood out to me. And then the market trends question is like amazing. There's a lot of untapped areas that I think we can tap into with our business, and just it's helping me shift the perspective of who we can work with and who we can offer our services to.
Yeah, and when you this is ChatGPT, and for how many of you are familiar with Perplexity? Because Perplexity is more like the research tool, AI tool that goes a little deeper when it comes to like marketing analysis and things of that nature. Anybody else want to share any other of the prompts that may have been an eye opener for that or expanded your thinking in your company? Oh, everybody is shy. It can't be no shy to me.
If that's the same Ryan Singh that I know, you should call him. If it's Ryan Singh, he should talk.
What is your question then?
Did you put any of the prompts in ChatGPT to see what your results would be for your company?
I had set up my company pitch with ChatGPT, using ChatGPT, and it did help me streamline what I wanted to say about who we are and what we do. And it was very different from the language I use. It helped simplify, make more clear what it is that my mission and vision were, and help to have a much clearer pitch of what we do.
And you know, with ChatGPT, if you haven't personalized it, when you do things of this nature, it would incorporate who if you gone to the settings and if you've gone to the settings and put in the personalization and filled in the personalization of that, and as ChatGPT gets to know you, it will incorporate the things that you do. It would incorporate some the intel behind some of the questions that you have asked, and it'll incorporate that into their responses when you prompt
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because I work on multiple projects, one of the things that I may do is for one project, I may be writing my bio for something, and it incorporates all of my previous chat or prompts and put it into that bio. And I'm like, no, that's not the bio I'm looking for. I'm not selling 1 million bananas to a farmer in southwestern Ontario this time. I'd like something
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
And
And you
so
can turn
and
memory off. You could also turn memory off
yeah,
also. Yeah.
I didn't realize that, but you
Yeah.
have to. For me, I use chat as not as a writer, but as an editor. So I try and put in all my information so that I have the proprietary understanding that it's my prompt and my writing that I'm putting in. And that way I'm very, very specific about what it is that I'm asking chat to do, and then be very specific about rereading it to make sure that it doesn't leave an Easter egg somewhere inside that says I didn't write it, it was written by an AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Camille, how you making out with the difference between Claude and ChatGPT? How much of a difference did it give you?
It's still loading on Claude, or however you want to say it. So Delroy, that's my ChatGPT. Because I've been using it for longer, it definitely gave me a lot of information, provided me short-term, mid-term, long-term market trends of how accounting, bookkeeping, and personal finance coaching is overall, because those are the three things I cater to with my business. So I should put on my video. How rude of me. It's actually really nice. I don't think I've done it like this before, so I'm just taking in what it's saying, and Claude just actually just created a whole doc as well as I'm looking on the second screen. Wow. So they're both giving me great numbers. Some of the numbers are a little bit different with like how much it could be like in the market trends. Like so in the current market trends, bookkeeping, personal finance, and tax preparation industries are experiencing a significant transformation driven by digitalization, regulator complexity, and shifting consumer expectations. Several things is I think it's talking more about US. So it doesn't know that I'm Canadian based. So it's saying that it can surpass 70 million self-employed individuals, contractors, and freelancers. So I just have to tweak it a little bit because it doesn't know that I'm Canadian based just yet. But unless I come through into the US atmosphere when it comes to taxes, but that takes a little bit of learning to do.
Yeah.
But it is amazing.
Yeah, the more, like you could have been more descriptive if you know it was just going to give you, US data. But yeah, when you go in and tweak it, it's going to save you at least 6 months worth of work and research.
Absolutely.
So I can put in, let's see, can't move this out the way now. Here we go. See, it's a 1, 2, we did 3 and 4. Let me give you 5 and 6. And like I said, this is, I always start with the basics, even though I know people, have companies and and there are some people are many years in. Why is it only giving me the same thing all over again? Oh. It's not liking my copy and paste.
Someone has their hand up as well.
Okay, there we go. Now I'm interested to see what these last two set of prompts, and there are more prompts, but I didn't give you all of them because in lieu of time. But these last two prompts that I'm sharing with you, it would be interesting to see if you just did the operation plan to see compare how you are operating now versus what the response would be from this prompt, and compare that. How are you operating now compared develop the operations plan and outline how my business will operate daily. How does that compare with how you actually are operating?
Nice. I did see Amanda. I wasn't sure if you had a question. Did you want to chime in?
I just want to know, sorry, my voice. Sorry, I'm losing my voice, but I just want to know how ChatGPT knows that I'm Black. Because the other day, ChatGPT was like, "Girl, listen, I like that energy," and the way you
Oh yeah,
responded back to me, and I was like, "Wow,
where did this come from?
I
So,
love the way it
so
responds
how,
to me."
where, is getting its data from your inquiries,
Yeah,
that you have put in, and it may have assessed,
yeah.
but you can also let ChatGPT know that you are being too familiar with me. Let's keep this professional.
Yeah. So at the bottom, it says Chat GPT might make mistakes. Does anybody here on the call ever compare what a Chat GPT gives them to another AI tool just to cross reference? Sorry,
Well,
my voice is
I
going.
have done that. I didn't cross-reference it. I knew the
Okay.
correct answer. And
Okay.
so I put it in Chat GPT, and it was, I can't remember, it was telling me that I could not do something. It was something technical. I built a website for someone, and the website, the site has been up for like 10 years, been maintained for 10 years, and then all of a sudden the homepage went away. So I was trying to figure out, oh, like I need to get to the WordPress files, but then it wouldn't let me get to the WordPress files. So I asked Chat GPT, I gave it the platforms that I was using, and I'm trying to get to Chat GPT, and not Chat WordPress, to the WordPress file, so I can edit the files, so the log allow me to log back in. So it was more of a technical question. So I had already troubleshooted, but the problem I was having is, where are these WordPress files? Every every place I looked, I couldn't find them. And then dialing down and diving deeper, I found out where they were. So I asked ChatGPT about one of the platforms that I use, and I asked it, does it automatically create its own account for AWS, and where do those files go? And it told me no, it does not automatically create its own files, but the answer was yes, it does. So when I said, well, according to such and such and such, or what, this was the platform's website. And it's funny, it's also interesting how you have to know the right question to ask. Because if you don't ask the right question, you're not going to get the right answer. Because I know I put this question in like 3 or 4 different ways. I also did it with Gemini. And when I did it with Gemini, it gave me the information that I needed to follow the trail of the error, right? But the first 3 times I did it, I didn't get that. And it goes back, I always like to refer to my dad, because my dad used to always say, it's a phrase, a word, or a sentence that can make the difference in someone's understanding. Because I didn't get beatings, I got lectures, right? And they would be like 2, 3 hours. And I'm just like, can I get a beating already? But it would just be lectures until until I get it, But that's the same with ChatGPT. It could be a word, a sentence, or a phrase that can change the whole your whole output in which you get back. So, but yeah, the answer, that was a long way to answer your question. Yes, chat can be wrong, or any of the AI tools can be wrong. So it is always good to fact check, because they're learning. They're also learning. Camille, I'm not understanding your question. Is that for me? What if you're in 5+ years?
Yeah, because it's saying first year of business. What about folks that have been in the business for like 5+ years?
then you indicate that you say I've been in you said I've been in this business for 5+ years. I'm trying to refine whichever prompt it was, you were using. If you wanted to, I want to recreate. I've been in business for 5 years, and if it was the finance question, you may want to give it some numbers, and you want to do your projection for the next 5 years. You might want to give it more content so it can be more specific to your business and what you already have going on. So this is just a general, it's just a general prop based on industry information, and if you want to start a business in that industry, and what does that look like. But for those of you who have actual businesses, you would probably want to go in there and be a little bit more specific with your prompt, so you can edit the prompt to meet your specific need for your business that's already established.
Thank you.
Are there any more questions? Because we are the also here are additional prompts that when you do SWOT analysis, your executive summary, and these are other prompts that you can give it to include in your business plan. So you'll have a whole picture of your company, and you can use that and pick out excerpts from when you're looking for funding, loans, grants. You'll already have that information, so you're just cut and paste when you're filling out certain things, when you're asking certain information when applying for funding. And these are just some tools, and a lot of you have mentioned a lot of tools that you were talking about. These are just, it's so many now. It's so many. It just depends now on which one serves your need better, right? And now, ChatGPT is growing, and it's costing a lot of platforms, because when it first started out, it wasn't, it didn't do image generation, right? It was just more informational and getting feedback. So now ChatGPT does a chat box, it does AI agents, it does image generations, it can do slide deck, it can do scheduling, because you integrate it with your Gmail account and all the different other tools that you might have, your Asana, and you can connect all those things up and do everything from ChatGPT. So these are just some other AI tools that you want to explore. Like I said, Perplexity is it's one of the most popular search engine AI tools. And I think that is my time. I want to be respectful. I want to be invited back, so I have to be on, make sure I am respectful of time.
Yeah, no worries. And if anybody does have additional questions, please feel free to put in the chat. Just as we wrap up, Angela, I would love to learn just a bit about your background. I know you're saying you're at NASA and what you used to do there, and then how you use that to now help companies really implement proper procedure. I feel like you said it before, we just start businesses and wing it. So I'm curious that thought process of like really executing a lot better.
Yeah, I used to work at NASA. I was a systems engineer there, and I always a funny, well, it was not funny, but one of the I call myself a hidden figure. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the movie Hidden Figures, but if you are, the character that Octavia Spencer played in that movie, I actually did that job. And so I was out, as I was watching the movie when it came out, I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, wait a minute. That's what I used to do, so the movie took a whole new meaning, after that when I saw that, and I was recognized for you guys familiar with the Hubble telescope? The Hubble telescope was a spacecraft that went in space that would take photographs of Earth. And it was up there for quite some time. And one of the things that I did was send commands, because we had to send commands to the spacecraft to tell it, what direction to go, how what angles to be, and cameras angles, and just give it all kinds of commands. And the crew before me could not get commands up to the spacecraft. And so when I came into work, they were panicking because you have a short window of time to get the commands up. And so they turned everything over, and I was like, okay, did you do this? And they were like, yeah, we did this and we did that, and like, we're running out of time, blah, 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 blah. And then I was like, okay, let me just think. To this day, I can't remember all the sequence of events that I did, but I was able to save the spacecraft with 1 minute and 2 seconds to spare. And so I was recognized for that. And it's like at the time, it's just the excitement, and managers and everything are, just was elated. But then once, after I left NASA, I was like, wait a minute, that was a multi-billion-dollar
Save.
project, and you only gave me a plaque and a couple of $1,000. Like, in comparison, I think I got gypped.
Gotcha. Yes.
I got gypped, but at the time it was just so exciting, and just to have the recognition and the fact that I was able to do that, because if we hadn't gotten it up, that would have just been millions and millions of dollars just floating around in space to be jumped.
Wow. Gotcha.
Because basically that's what happens if the spacecraft or the entity does not come back to Earth. If they don't bring it back, they just turn it off, and it's just floating off, just there. So there's a lot of junk in space.
Can I ask a quick question?
Mm-hmm.
So can you please confirm for all of us, is the Earth flat or is it round?
It's round. It's round.
Okay, thank you. All right. That's all I want to know.
Yeah, it is round.
Thank you.
It is round. But to answer your question, one of the things I look at is process improvement. I'm a process improvement person. So with various things that businesses do, and how I look at what they're doing now, and how can we make this process. That's one of the reasons why I like AI, because it's a process improvement. You may not, especially for people who are solopreneurs and their businesses is just solely them. Now with AI, you have all these tools that can help you generate in less time. You can create these AI agents that will go on and that will go and you can have it make your cold calls for you, or schedule your appointments, or follow up on leads, or you can have all these things with AI. And so, like I said, being a process improvement person, we would go into like restaurants, and just it got really bad because we would go into restaurants and like, okay, what they need is if they take this and they move this over, that would be more functionable if they were to, just improving the process in order for it to be a better environment. And also in addition to functionality and how processes work, one of the other things that we do is for How many have you ever taken a DISC assessment?
Oh, like the personality thing?
Yes, the DISC
Okay, yeah,
assessment. We do that for human resources. We have different companies, like we have a session, everybody takes this assessment, because a lot of times people are fired and they don't need to be fired, they just need to be moved. They need to be moved to a different environment. How that manager or that direct, their direct upline, they might not be compatible. They may not even can communicate with each other because of their personalities.
yeah.
But because that manager doesn't understand that this person doesn't need to be fired, they just need to be moved somewhere else. And they will thrive, but because you two have a conflict and they don't see it the way you see it, it's a problem. Oh, this person is incompetent. No, this person is not incompetent. You're just totally opposites. And you can't, how many times have you heard or have you said yourself, I just don't understand why such and such does whatever, right?
Right, yes.
It's sometimes that's your personality, not understanding another personality. But are you even trying to understand? Some people don't try to understand. So we help in that area as well. But it's more so like a process improvement, and we do coaching, consultations, and that's what I do for. I am the co-founder and CMO of I Triumph Enterprises, and that's the international business development. Our main focus has been in the real estate industry with brokerages and real estate agents, but we also do small businesses as well. And I am the owner, like I said, I am a master graphic designer, so we do have a graphic designs firm. And if I may, I think on the next slide, we do offer a package. We have a premium coaching package, which is unique because in coaching, you don't get design services in a coaching package, right?
Gotcha.
So we offer graphic design. We offer for 3 months, instead of having you commit to a whole year plan. We allow you to have a 3 months 3 month coaching plan, and if you look at the results that you've gotten in 3 months, or if you've implemented the things that we have guided you in, and you see results and you want to continue to plan, you're happy to do that. But this is what we have to offer. We have 3 months of recorded coaching sessions, 3 monthly coaching sessions, a monthly mastermind, one specialized team building session. So if it's you and you have a team of people, or just you and another person on your team, and you want that person to hear what's being said so everybody can be on the same page, we offer that as well. And that person would be, they would join that session for free, of course. And then you are given at least 15 hours worth of design services. So whatever you can give me and I can squeeze it in 15 hours, you get that for free. You get that for free. In addition to, of course, we provide, AI education and training on the tools and different resources. So if you're interested in that, you can email me and let me know, and we'll connect you with the coach, and you will get your free consultation.
Awesome. I'll put that into the chat, although that did a weird thing. Abel at EXPro. I don't know why it's doing that. Are you able to put your email in the chat? Some reason
I can do that. I have to reduce the
weird. But again, really appreciate you taking the time to be with us today. I know we are trying as best we can to get people off the fence of using AI. There are great resources and support. Angela's one of them. If you need somebody to guide you and hold your hand through the process and get some training, she's there. There's other people that will be at the symposium to support you. And we are looking forward to seeing you next month. Saturday, March the 21st. We're going to be digging deeper into building wealth by leveraging AI. And we have one last pre-legacy symposium that we are slipping in. Angela mentioned about AI agents. So a gentleman, Adrell from Salesforce, he's going to be talking about AI agents because they've built something called Agent Force. So we're going to learn about having multiple employees that are AI. And so these are us solo entrepreneurs, no more. We need a team, and AI can be your first recruits. So we're going to learn about that. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next month twice. So our pre-legacy symposium event and then the symposium. So again, thank you everybody for joining. Looking forward to reading your business plans now that you have no excuse to get them done. And again, thank you so much, Angela. Looking forward to working with you soon.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Oh, our pleasure. Yes. Have a great one, everyone. We shall
Thank
talk.
you. Have a good evening.
Okay, thank you all for joining. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome.